All right, Shalom. Let's check the feed real quick. Bear with me. And we'll get rolling. All right, quick prophecy update, news update. All right. Headlines are going crazy right now. Hold on 1 second. We're almost there. There we go. Hey, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, prophecy update. All right, peace president Trump bombs Iran to start another new war. All right, so as everybody's paying attention right now, all right, things have escalated in Iran. Okay, the war has started, and let's open up with a quick scripture. Okay, just want to hit this off real quick before we head to camp in another 45 minutes or so. All right, but anyway, this is it's Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, and we here, man. All right, our salvation is nearer than we believe. All right, let's get this shit popping, man. All right, but before I get into the main point here, I do want to go into this real fast. All right, because the whole world is watching, as we were talking about before. This is just a news.gallup.com. It says Israelis no longer ahead in Americans' Middle East sympathies. It says Israel still viewed more favorably, support for two-state solution highest since 2003. Okay, it says Washington, D.C., 41% of Americans now say they sympathize more with Palestinians. Check that out. All right, the tables are turning. Okay, people are waking up to see what the hell's going on, man. All right, it says 41% of Americans now say they sympathize more with Palestinians. That's a problem. Okay, in the Middle East situation, while 36% sympathize more with Israelis. All right, so there you go. What's it called? Polarization, the great divide amongst America. All right, all these videos that are on social media, okay, that show how these small hats are pretty much have taken over America, man. All right, AIPAC. Okay, your politicians are all in bed with the small hats, man. Okay, it was never, as we said before, weeks ago, months ago, it was never about America being first. All right. It says sympathize more with Palestinians in the Middle East situation, while 36% sympathize more with Israelis. The 5 percentage point difference is not statistically significant, but it contrasts with the clear lead for the Israelis only a year ago, 46% versus 33%, a larger leads over the prior 24 years. It says from 2001 to 2025, Israelis consistently held double-digit leads in Americans' Middle East sympathies, with the gap averaging 43 points between 2001 and 2018. However, public opinion began narrowing in 2019, several years before the October 7th, 2023 Hamas attack on Israel and the subsequent war in Gaza. The cumulative effect of gradual changes in U.S. attitudes since then has led to the Israelis no longer Salakia. Let me read that again. Excuse me. It says that the cumulative effect of gradual changes in U.S. attitudes since then has led to the Israelis no longer being viewed more sympathetically. See that? So people are tired of these niggas, man. Okay, that world sympathy is drying up. Okay, and you can read the rest of that. But hey, it's all part of prophecy, man. People see what's going on. Social media is hot, it's buzzing. Okay, there's videos going out all over the place. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Okay, and the truth is out. Okay, let me get something real fast, just thinking out loud as I speed through here real quick. Okay, Let's go to Habakkuk real fast. All right. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 in the NLT. All right, let's get that real quick. Okay, Habakkuk 2 and 8 in the NLT. And it reads, it says, because you have plundered many nations, now all the survivors will plunder you. It's your turn now, man. Okay, as we were just looking at that, that world sympathy is going out the window, man. Okay, America is completely divided. Okay, it says Israel is no longer ahead in America's Middle East sympathies, man. That's a big deal, man. Right? Habakkuk 2 and 8, because you have plundered many nations, now all the survivors will plunder you. This is why the earth is rising up against them. You committed murder throughout the countryside, and these videos that people have been seeing are live, man. All right, these niggas are bombing schools, towns, killing children, murdering journalists. Okay? It says you committed murder throughout the countryside. You filled the towns with violence, all right? And this is being seen all over the earth. Verse 9. It says, what sorrow awaits you who build big houses with money gained dishonestly. You believe your wealth will buy you security, putting your family's nest beyond the reach of danger. Right, because everybody is on the head of these tiny tops, man. No matter how much money they have, you know, the so-called security that they believe to have, destruction is coming to them. Okay? It says, by the murders you committed, you have shamed your name and fortified your lives, right? Great shame is upon his glory. All right? Hey, this is the worst time in the earth right now to be an Edomite, especially a Amalekite. All right? A tiny top. The very stones in the walls cry out against you, and the beams in the ceilings echo the complaint. This is symbolic for the people, man. All right, that great crying out that's going out in the earth. People are tired and fed the fuck up. Okay. Verse 12, it says, what sorrow awaits you who build cities with money gained through murder and corruption. See that? And this is what Esau is fully about, man. Okay. Dishonest gain through money and corruption, murder, rape, pillaging. Okay. Hey, right now the Edomite is looking horrible worldwide, man. All right, the Epstein files, the rituals, everything, man. Hey, like I said before, 2026 has been a hell of a year. All right, and we only 2 months in this thing, going on 3. Okay, and we've been speaking about this in the spirit that right around when the Passover started to come in, we were going to see more heavy things happen. And look, okay, the least of the flock has drawn them out. We in it. Okay. And I will come back to this too, you know, just for the sake of time. I want to make some points, but I want to play this video from Secular Talk real quick. But and I'll bring this back in a lesson later on. But I do want to tap into this. Let me pull it up real fast. Okay. Because we've been saying the Epstein files, all this wickedness that's being exposed, what's going on with these tiny tops. We understood, we understood in the spirit that the big one was coming. We've been saying this for a long time, man. All right. They need a major, you know, distraction. All right. They need something major to pretty much offset what's going on. All right. This is from baseunderground.com. It says AI-driven cyber attack scenarios point to the big one that experts say is coming. See that? So we know in due time, EMP, cyber attack. All right. You know, the economy crashing, whatever the case is. All right. These things are bound to happen. Right. I just want to read a quick paragraph. We'll get to the video. All right. To the main point. But it says artificial intelligence is no longer just supercharging our social media feeds and search engines. It is rapidly becoming the accelerant that could turn a manageable cyber incident into a national catastrophe. All right. This is what everybody's waiting on. We know it's coming. Okay. Especially now that this you know, this war breaking out in Iran. All right. Hospitals going dark. cities losing power, food and water systems disrupted, logistics frozen. These are not just plot points to a dystopian novel. They are the scenarios that top American security officials. So like they are the scenarios that top American security officials are now quietly describing as the quote big one. See, the big one is on deck. In cyber warfare and AI is the force making them more likely, more complex, and harder to stop. The alarm is not coming from fringe corners of the internet. It is coming from men like Leon Panetta, former Secretary of Defense, General Paul Nakasone, the former head of the NSA and the U.S. Cyber Command, Michael Hayden, former CIA director, and other senior cyber officials who spent their careers thinking about worst case scenarios and how to prevent them, right? And like I said, we'll come back to that, all right? But just understand that, look, all these things are ready to go, okay? So anyway, let's get to the point here, all right? Breaking world erupts as Israel and U.S. launch regime change war in Iran, 51 schoolgirls killed.
All right, guys, we have major breaking news here for you. It's official. Israel and the United States have now waged an illegal and offensive war against Iran. They are going for full regime change. This is not a little attack by any stretch of the imagination. I have a lot of stuff to get to here, so let's jump right in. And by the way, I warned you. I told you this was going to happen. I told you the negotiations were a total ruse. Israel does not want peace. The U.S. does not want peace. They were faking negotiations in order to lull them into a false sense of security to then attack them. That's exactly what they did. I told you that was what's going to happen. And I knew that not only because we were moving all this military stuff in the region, but because Trump has a history of doing exactly this. This is...
Yeah, we've been told you that, man. All right, starting with the prophets first, real quick. All right, you already know. Let me get it. 1 Thessalonians 5. Okay, everybody's... All right. There is no peace to the wicked, saith the Lord. Okay. 1 Thessalonians 5:1, the day of the Lord. But of the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Right. Verse 3, for when they say peace and safety, right? And this is what they were talking about for the past months, how we're negotiating. We're trying to come to an agreement. We're trying to make a deal. All this bullshit, man. It was never about that. All right. That was the smoke and mirrors to keep people distracted, to give, comfort to the so-called American people to think that this wasn't going to happen. But now we're here. Right. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. Right. So, hey, we've been saw through all of this madness.
How he killed Qasem Soleimani, one of the top Iranian commanders who was fighting ISIS. He lured him with fake negotiations, then he murdered him in a terror attack. So here we are, except now they're going for full illegal and offensive regime change. I also told you after the so-called 12-day war that if you think this thing is over, I have a bridge to sell you. And yet again, that's exactly correct. I wish it wasn't. I wish I was wrong, but I'm not wrong. So let's go ahead and jump right in, and I'll walk you through what we have right now. So the Associated Press says, breaking. Explosions heard in Tehran as Israel's defense minister confirms Israel has attacked Iran. So this is what Trump wanted. Trump wanted Israel to attack first, then Iran to counterattack, and then Trump gets to go, well, actually, technically, it's defensive because we were attacked first. Again, even though Israel attacked first, they were our attack dog. It's all bullshit. It's all a game. It's all a con. It's all theater. We were always going to go in and back up Israel. That was the point. They want the regime change. We're going to deliver the regime change. By the way, here's something nobody's going to talk about. The president of the United States was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a honeypot blackmail operation. He was running a honeypot blackmail operation, and he worked with intelligence agencies all across the world, including Mossad. There's no doubt that the Israeli government has videos and pictures of Trump doing horrific things with underage girls. There's no doubt. And now Benjamin Netanyahu, how do we know he didn't blackmail Trump and hold it over his head say, hey, you're gonna do this regime change or else, or these tapes come out. And by the way, the Iranians are saying if you do the attack, tapes will come out because they claim they have them. So we'll see if that's just a bluff or not. But
hey, nasty work, man. Hey, this guy Trump is cooked. All right, he's damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, and them damn tiny tops got him by the balls, man. All right, so he's the puppet that's going to initiate nuclear war as we see it. All right, this is the beginning.
But when I look at this, man, it stinks to the high heavens. And we have a blackmailed pedophile president. We do. And so now look at how deep we're into this. Okay, I got to keep going here because, like I said, I got a lot of stuff to get to. So here we have one of the attacks on Tehran that landed. You could see smoke in the distance. Take a look at this.
Imagine being able to build an app.
Bear with me.
And this is happening all across the Middle East. And we'll get to that as we move along here. But here's another video in Iran with smoke coming up because something was clearly attacked. Here we go. You can see it right there. This is a different one, by the way. I should point out, this is a different one that we're talking about. We're going to get to Qatar. We're going to get to Abu Dhabi. We're going to get to all the different ones because there's a lot of stuff that's under attack right now. Iran is not playing around. They're not sitting ducks. This isn't like the Venezuela operation. They're a much more formidable enemy, not only than Venezuela, but also compared to Iraq. Iran is a country of about 90 million people and is 4 times bigger than Iraq, and the government's been in existence since the 1970s. This is not easy. What we're doing here is not easy. And of course, this is totally against the Constitution because Congress didn't approve this in any way, shape, or form. You got Thomas Massie out there saying it right now. Democrats should be screaming for impeachment, screaming. Dropsite News says U.S. forces are carrying out dozens of strikes using aircraft from bases across the Middle East and from at least one aircraft carrier. Officials told the New York Times U.S. officials also expect the operation to be a significantly larger one than last June's American strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. U.S. officials confirms U.S. carrying out strikes against Iran, not solely in Israeli action, will not be a small operation. Now, by the way, what happened?
Yeah, real quick. As you said, Congress didn't approve or whatever. It was really Yahweh Shemir Washai that approved it. All right, let me make a point on that. All right. This is the will of the Lord, man. This is Isaiah 43. Because the Lord is a man of war. All right, Isaiah 43 and 13. Isaiah 42, not 43. Let me get that. Salakia. Isaiah 42 and 13. And it reads, it says, the Lord, Yahweh Shemir Washai, shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. All right. This was approved by Yahweh Shemir Washai. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. And this is the spirit that's in the earth, man. Okay. As it tells you in the Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Okay. A time of peace, a time of war, a time of hate, time of kill. All right. We are in those times. Okay. That's the season we in. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills. I will dry up all their herbs, and I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up their pools. And how is the Lord going to do that? Through these nuclear missiles, man. All right, when these warheads hit the earth. Okay.
You guys told us you destroyed their nuclear capabilities, and anybody who told you otherwise was spreading fake news. Now you're saying we got to do this to destroy their nuclear capabilities. Jesus Christ. All right, so now let's jump right into it, bro. Here is Donald Trump. I'm going to try to get through his full statement here. He does a late night speech. Because, by the way, the attack happened late night Eastern time, okay? But in Iran, it happened during the day, which is very bizarre. If you're actually trying to protect yourselves and get away with it, you would do it at night. But they chose to do it during the day in Iran, which again tells me they literally want the counterattack. Trump wants the counterattack. Trump wants American casualties so he can go out there and justify getting deeper involved in this war.
Exactly. Yep. Real quick, before he even plays that, I have something pulled up here too. bear with me. This is from the Daily Beast, right? So it says Trump parties at flashy gala as troops are warned they may die in Iran. Okay, and this is the video he's going to play. I just want to read this part real quick down here. Okay, this is the president is seen wearing the same white U.S. trucker hat he wore while telling the U.S. he launched America's first full-scale war since 2003. During the video, he warned that Americans may die in his war. All right, so it's going to be mass casualties, man. All right, let's get into the video here. All right.
It's very disturbing. It's very, very dark. But here we go. This is what he says.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime.
Literally everybody knows that's a lie. This is such nonsense. Imminent threats from Iran. They're not going to attack us. There was no threats whatsoever. They were negotiating. They thought, hey, maybe we'll get a deal out of this. Their foreign minister was saying that on TV yesterday. Nobody buys this. Who is this for?
A vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
The guy who starts a new war every other week is calling somebody else vicious. That's Rich.
Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries.
Trump just bragged about putting an al-Qaeda leader as the head of Syria. I'm not kidding. He just bragged about putting an al-Qaeda leader as the head of Syria. And he's saying Iran does terror attacks against it. You have got to be kidding me. By the way, you know why they chant death to America, right? Are you guys familiar with this? It's because we illegally and offensively overthrew their government in 1953 because they elected somebody named Mohammad Mossadegh who was going to nationalize their oil, which would screw Western oil corporations out of the profits from that. And so we did that, and we put a CIA puppet leader in control of the country, the Shah, and that's why they chanted. I don't know. If somebody illegally and offensively couped my government to steal my natural resources, I might say death to that country too.
Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the...
He's literally bringing up 1983. Bro is so cooked. You think this is going to land with the American people? You think this is going to help you with your shitty approval rating?
barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members.
By the way, the fact that he said they're probably involved with it means there's almost no chance they're involved with it.
In Iraq, the regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years.
Why did you put your country by our military bases? How dare you put your country by our military bases? All we did was encircle your country with our military bases and with giant missiles and guns. And man, you attacked poor little us. We weren't doing anything wrong.
As well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels and international.
Because this man, he's a liar. All right. He's a liar and he's the man of violence. All right. Again, that's his nature. All right. The scripture says in Psalm 73 that he wears violence like a garment. All right. Let me get that in Psalm 58. Bear with me. So this is the book of Psalms 58 and verse 2, which reads, it says, Psalms 58 and 2, it says, yea, in heart you work wickedness. Okay. You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. All right. Revelation 6 and 4. All right. This is that red horse. All right. That causes the people to kill each other, that wages war on the earth. You know, this is him. Verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All right. He's a liar. Okay. This is what they do.
Shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, The regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal.
Is he going to talk about the fact that you had like an October 7th, like every other day in Gaza for the past couple of years? No, of course not.
Thing like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon.
And they don't. They didn't. they never have. They said they don't want one. This literally this week, they said they don't want one. If I
It's all propaganda. It's the same shit with Bush. All right, remember 9/11? Okay, they had weapons of mass destruction. The niggas went over there and with no weapons of mass destruction. Same shit, man. The propaganda to justify them going over there and taking over the land. It's the same play.
was advising them, I would say, you probably should get one. Because if you had one, all of this would be avoided. They couldn't do this to you if you had it. Look, Kim Jong-un has a nuke. They can't fuck with him. Libya, under Gaddafi, they gave up their weapons of mass destruction, and then he was toppled and sodomized with a bayonet. Okay? Saddam Hussein in Iraq, same thing. Didn't have weapons of mass destruction. Look what happened to him. It's almost like the message the world is getting is, I better get nukes ASAP. Because if I don't, I'm a sitting duck to Western aggression.
Exactly. We've been saying that for years. All right. I forgot who was it. It was one of the leaders from, I forgot what country that said that. That they gotta hurry up and arm up, because if they don't, they're gonna get taken over. Because all these nations see a repeated pattern. The propaganda goes out against them. Next thing you know, they get invaded, they get bombed, and they get their shit taken over. Like I said, it's the same play. Because he's regarded as the hammer. Okay, and one of the last what's his name? General Wesley Clark. He had brought it out, all the nations that they were going to take over. And I believe like Iran was like one of the last ones, or the last two. If I'm not mistaken, somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, right? But real fast, this is Jeremiah 50 and 23. All right, Jeremiah 50 and 22. It says, "A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction." All right, this is what's happening in Iran right now. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right. Babylon the Great, America, is regarded as the hammer of the whole earth, man. All right. Through its since its inception, all right, it's bombed and pillaged nations for years, for the past 200 plus years. All right. This is most certainly the hammer of the earth, of the whole earth, man. Okay.
It again. They can never have a nuclear weapon.
It's kind of crazy. He's saying this. Meanwhile, he ripped up the JCPOA, the Obama-Iranian nuclear agreement. There's no debate around that. It just worked. It's just a fact. The IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, says they verified over a dozen times that Iran was following it perfectly, and all we had to do was give them back their own money that we stole through sanctions. Literally, that's all we had to do. That's it. So, you're the reason there's no peace. You are the problem. You are the issue. You ripped up the agreement. You violated the agreement and ripped up the agreement. Now you have the nerve to smack them around and say, make a new agreement with me where I put even harsher terms on you. Are you kidding me? It's fucking absurd.
That is why in Operation Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan.
But now we have to attack them again because of their nuclear program.
After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil.
I'm done, bro. I'm done. Oh my word. Who buys this? Bro, you're building the Fourth Reich, homie. You're building the Fourth Reich. I mean, how many evil actions you were threatening to steal Greenland like last week? Denmark is our ally. They control Greenland. You're threatening to steal it like last week. You're threatening to steal Panama. You're threatening to bomb Mexico. Okay?
Everything he's saying is prophecy, man. All right? Hey, I got to bring that out back in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Hey, because he's never satisfied, man. All right? Habakkuk 2, okay, in verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. All right. This man is not righteous, not a righteous bone in his body. All right. But the just shall live by his faith. The point, verse 5, yea, also because he transgressed by wine. All right. Going into his wicked philosophies, his propaganda. Okay. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. This nigga is everywhere. All right. Hey, I saw an article earlier. It's like, why are we at war with Cuba? Niggas was in Venezuela like last week. You know, they dropped a bomb on fucking Nigeria. All right. They're aiding, okay, the war in Ukraine. He's all over the place. Neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. This is him, man. This is what he's saying. He can't be satisfied, man. He's a warmonger. It actually tells you that. All right? We're under here where it says, neither keepeth at home. Right? In the lexicon right here. Okay? It says, in the lexicon down here, it says, he is a proud man and does not rest, but seeks disturbances and wars. All right, this is the mindset. This is the ways of the Edomites, man. This is how they move throughout the earth. Okay.
You kidnapped the leader of Venezuela and started stealing their oil, and now you have hundreds of millions of dollars sitting in your own personal account overseas in Qatar. And the fact that he calls anybody else evil, bro, I am done.
Just as it has for decades and decades, they've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten our very good friends and allies in Europe, our troops stationed overseas, and could soon reach the American homeland.
Oh, he did it. He did the thing. He did the thing. Oh my God, he did the thing. They have the weapons of mass destruction. It could soon hit us. Who are you, Mark Levin? Are you Mark Levin? Is that who you are? Are you fucking Netanyahu?
The same play. The nigga going left.
Like, this is the most pathetic propaganda I've ever seen in my life. Nobody in motherfucking Cleveland is sitting there going, you know, my biggest problem is Iran. Like, no, the Islamic Revolution sure was fucked up in 1979, wasn't it? What do you, like, oh, God, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to crash out.
Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as a means to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our...
The guy who just said, we shouldn't even have elections anymore, going, the wicked dictatorship. Homie, that's you! Look in the mirror. Oh.
Core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to annihilate their Navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon. This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces. I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war.
That's because of you, dog. Don't give me this bullshit. Everybody knows there would be 0 U.S. casualties if you and Israel didn't start another illegal and offensive war against a country that didn't attack us. There would be motherfucking 0 casualties. This is Trump sacrificing innocent Americans to the blood gods of the military-industrial complex and the Israel lobby. That's what he's doing. I need you to understand that. That's what this is.
Yep, damn sure right. As he said here, all right, let me pull this up. You know, bear with me. Oh, these goddamn pop-ups. Hold on 1 second. What's up with these pop-ups, man? Hold on. They won't let me go into it. All right, never mind. Damn. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this up. They gotta let me get in there. Bear with me 1 second. All right, mass casualties. Isaiah 34 is a good chapter too, and we'll pull that up in a second. I want to see if I can get into this article here. They try to make you sign in and all of that. Yeah, here we go. Finally. All right. This is from usnews.com. Trump warns some Americans may die amid U.S. strikes in Iran because they're going to sacrifice many Americans for the tiny tots. That's what it's all about. And people have been complaining about that, man. They don't want their sons and daughters to be sacrificed for these damn tiny tops, man. Okay. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Saturday there could be U.S. casualties after he announced the United States began, quote, major combat operations in Iran. See? It says the strikes, which Trump said were aimed at destroying Iranian missiles in his navy, followed repeated U.S.-Israeli warnings that would strike Iran again if it pressed ahead with its nuclear and ballistic missile programs. All right. It says, quote, my administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill, Trump said in a video shared on Truth Social. Okay. As we were just paying attention in that video here. Now, let me get this in Isaiah 34, and we'll play a little bit more of that, and we'll wrap this up. Get down to camp. All right. It's going down, man. Barakatha Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. The least of the flock should draw them out. Isaiah 34. Okay. Isaiah 34:1. Come near, you nations, to hear and hearken, you people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all the things that come forth of it. All right. The whole world is hearing the word, man. Okay. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. All right. All these nations are about to get slaughtered in this nuclear war, this World War III. Their slain also should be cast out. Their stink should come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. See that? It's gonna be casualties, man. It's gonna be a lot of death soon to come. All right. And this is what's getting ready to happen to Babylon. And the host of all the heaven, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falling from the vine, and as a fig falling from the fig tree, right? Going into the nuclear warheads hitting the earth. All right, and that mushroom cloud, the aftermath. Verse 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, all right, which is Greek for Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Verse 6, the sword of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is filled with blood. The sword of the Lord is these missiles, man, the ICBMs. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So like he was saying, This is a big sacrifice, man. Okay, the goats, the lambs, okay, the kidneys of rams. That's all symbolic of the people, man. Okay, the Babylonians, the American people are about to be a sacrifice of nuclear war, man. Okay, in a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. All right, you could tie that to America, Babylon, man. It's going to be a great slaughter. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks and the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, in the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion, man. All these things that are happening in the earth right now are for the controversies of the Lord's people, man. All right, this is the Lord paying the nations back, all right, for what they did to his people, man. All right, this is how he's going to end all the nations, right?
And again, there was reporting he literally wants American troops to be killed in the Iranian counterattack after the Israeli first strike, so that he can go, well, now we have to go in and we have no choice.
But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future. And it is a noble mission.
Oh.
We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran.
Oh.
We ask God to protect all.
Motherfucker, you're the threat. You are the evil. You have ICE Gestapo's thugs shooting innocent Americans in the face and murdering them on a regular basis. You're building 23 concentration camps.
Cooked.
I tried a ton of AI work tools.
Bear with me. Yeah, it's fucking madness out here, man. This is it, y'all. All right, the end. Bear with me.
Oh my God. I'm thinking of the old like Muhammad Ali line and updating it to the Iran never did shit to me. The Iranians never did shit to me, right? Like, what do you say? No Vietnamese ever called me the N-word. Like, this was like, who is this working on? And that's the thing, though. I got to calm down. It's working on nobody. That's what you need to understand. It's working on nobody. There's like the Kool-Aid drinking death cultists of MAGA. Yes, they'll go for this. His approval rating with them or the support for this move among them, it'll go from 50% to 95% like that. But everybody else is gonzo. I'll make a prediction right now. His approval rating at some point in the near future is going to be in the 20s. You're going to have a major poll that has him at like 29%. Watch.
Our heroes in harm's way. And we trust that with his help, the men and women of the armed forces will prevail. We have the greatest in the world, and they will prevail. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or in the alternative, face certain death. So
he says that as the mission is ongoing literally right now to murder all of them. So that's a lie. This idea like, I'll give you a way out. No, you're not. There's no way out. What are you talking about?
Lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity.
This is literally what they did with Hamas, right? Lay down your weapons and everything will be great. Meanwhile, like as they're speaking, they're doing another carpet bombing raid where they're murdering women and children, right? Like if they keep their weapons or give up their weapons, they're still going to do the genocide and the ethnic cleansing. It's been live streamed for fucking years straight. We're not stupid. We weren't born yesterday. It's the same thing. You're doing the murdering of those people as you are giving this speech. Who are you kidding? You're not one last chance as you fucking shoot the guy right in the face. This is
Hey, the Isaiah 25:7. Okay, how that the Lord is removing the veil. All right, people see now, man. They see exactly what it is, right?
Bullshit.
Or you will face certain death. Finally, to the great proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
He thinks we live in a movie. Like random people who aren't armed, like the local baker and the accountant, are going to storm the presidential palace and be like, this is ours now. And they're going to write a constitution 407 years ago. Like, this is not how war works in the real world, you dipshit. You just emboldened every gangster, every criminal in the country. The people who have the muscle currently are the ones who have the power. Oh, my God, bro.
For many years, you have asked for America's help but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do
Oh God,
tonight.
this bit.
Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is
Oh,
backing.
see, there's the out. When everything falls apart, it's gonna. The Iranian people weren't ready. They didn't do the right thing. I did everything perfect. Like he's already giving himself the outs, right? He's giving himself outs when this thing blows up.
With overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of America.
All right, shut the fuck up. He's got to be impeached. He's got to be impeached. It's over. Just impeach him. Hit him with the 25th Amendment. Motherfucker, do something. This is not acceptable. Okay, there's evidence he has early Alzheimer's. A fucking brain that's just leaking dementia is now making global war decisions, which, by the way, could easily spark World War III. What he's done here could easily spark what could cascade into World War III. There's already going
And that's prophecy, man. All right. As we've been telling you, as the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai warned you first, man. All right. The least of the flock should draw them out. That's exactly where it's going. World War III, man. We almost out this bitch. Okay. You can watch the rest of that. Okay. I got to make a move to camp. But before we wrap this up, and we might come back to it later. But I thought this was interesting too. This is from the New York Times. It says Israel facing prospect of war with a depleted missile defense. The June 2025 conflict with Iran depleted Israeli and U.S. stocks for anti-ballistic missiles. If there's another war, the pressure will be on to destroy Iranian missiles before they can be launched, right? So look, they don't have enough ammo. Okay, and we know that, as the scripture said, that, matter of fact, instead of quote, let me just bring it back out, man. All right. Let me just get it. Because we know, according to prophecy, both Babylon the Great, America, and Tiny Top Land are going to be destroyed together. All right. Jeremiah 49 and 20. And it reads, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that he have taken against Edom in his purposes that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman, right? The tiny tops. Surely the least of the flock should draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. All right. So, hey, both Babylon and Tiny Topville are going to get smoked. All right. According to prophecy. Okay. So this is exactly what he was saying here. This is going to, these moves are being made to bring in World War III, man. All right. The second woe was passed. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right. What a time, man. You know? So like I said, Lord willing, I'll come back a little later. We'll touch more on these topics, man. But hey, the news is hot, man. It's getting hot. All right. Wars, rumors of wars, all of that. All right. So I pray that this quick lesson was edifying, man. We'll leave it like that. As I said earlier, okay, we all expect that big one to come. All right. It's a lot of shit going on, man. Confusion, distractions, everything, man. So keep your head on the swivel. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. Shalom.